It's time for Minutes with the Mayor, brought to you by Mercantile Bank at 36th and Main and many other locations throughout Quincy. Thank you to Mercantile Bank, and thank you to everyone for tuning in. Sitting with me today, two wonderful people at the City of Quincy. We have Fire Chief Chief Salrin and Communications Strategist Kristin Neiman. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for being here. We have a couple of really important things to talk about today. One being Code Red. Now, Bob wanted me to ask this question. It's on one of his favorite movies, but I refused just out of principle. But Code Red is something that is not to be taken lightly, right? We want to make sure that we're communicating efficiently and effectively throughout our community. Can you tell me a little bit about what it is and where it came from?
Yeah, absolutely. So really when I came on to work with the city, Mayor Moore really wanted to focus on getting in touch, better touch with our residents of Quincy. And actually Chief Salrin here was the one who brought this to the table back in July, I believe, or May or June, July, in that area.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, and he, was really a big proponent of we have got to talk to our people on a different level. People are asking for, they want text messages, they want calls. Not everyone's on Facebook, not everybody, is reading the news every day. So how can we better reach out to them? And so that is when Code Red came about. So Code Red, not the soda. I always think of the soda. Code Red, Mountain Dew.
Yeah, good
but
stuff,
really,
by the way.
Yeah, it is. But Code Red is something. It's an emergency management system that is going to help the city of Quincy better communicate with our residents when it comes to emergency situations.
Okay.
Now, emergency situations, I'm not speaking right now about if there's a tornado or if there is, an earthquake, things like that. I'm talking about things that the city has control over, that the city is, quote, in charge of.
Okay.
So really what we're looking at right now is, we have street closures, we have boil orders, we have water main breaks, we might have airport delays. So what this allows us to do is have residents opt in to be in communication with us. So we can send them, hey, right now we have a delay at our airport because there is 8 feet of snow.
Sure.
And so those people who are interested in that information, yes, they can call. Yes, they can look on our website. But sometimes we just need things to be easier and sent to us. And that's what Code Red does. When you sign in, you're able to get a text or a voice call to you that says, hey, we have an interruption in service today on Main Street. Please go this other way.
Sure.
And I think that's really, we're just answering questions that the community's asked, and they've asked for this, and we want to deliver it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that when we had the boil order, right? It was a lot of people were saying, "God, I wish I would have known this." Well, it's hard to be everywhere that everyone is because there's so many different styles and channels of communication. So I think this helps with the timeliness of these communications as well, because sometimes there are things that are more priority, and we want people to know as soon as they look at their phone or as soon as they pick it up, right?
Yeah, and I think what we've identified is it's safe to say like a majority of people do have a phone, whether that is just a voice, non-texting phone, or if it's texting, you don't care about answering your phone. But I think this is something that's immediate. It's right now. It gives people the chance to say, okay, I don't want to drink my water right now. I'm under a boil order.
Sure.
And that's what they deserve. They deserve that information as soon as they can get it.
Right, absolutely. And you mentioned the registration process, because you do have to opt into this communication. So don't think that you're just immediately going to get this. You do have to register or subscribe to these notifications. Is that correct?
Yes. So really, this is where we need our residents to do the work. They need to do 5 minutes of work to allow us to be better communicators. So something they can do is they can text Quincy to a phone number. And again, all this information is on our website, and it's on a header at quincyil.gov. It's also on our Facebook page. But again, I'm sure I will also be in the comments of this and let people know how they can text. But really, they can text to sign up, or they can go online to sign up. And it's very simple. They just ask for your name, where you live, because that helps us with when we geofence an area. So, and that I think is very cool. If we have a water break on South 22nd Street between Washington and Main Street, it allows us to go in and circle the area. So people who have opted in, who live in those zones, will be the people who get that message.
Sure.
So that way someone who lives on North 22nd, they don't need that information.
Right.
So it allows us to focus and target to those specific individuals. And I think it's just really easy. You go in, you're allowed to opt into different kinds of notifications that you want to be notified about. So I highly recommend, yes, everyone please opt in for boil order notifications. That's very important to your safety. But also, people really care about road closures.
Sure.
They're coming to work, they need to know where they're going. That's something they can opt in for, that we want them to have that information. And again, it's as simple as you go and you'll see a list and you'll just check a box of what you want to be notified about.
Okay.
Now, I think it's important to say there's not going to be notifications every day. This isn't something we're going to spam people out. It's going to be truly like, here is an update for what we have for that specific area, that information. Right. This is not like an everyday, hey, here's an update, everyone.
It's not just going to be more noise.
Yes,
we have enough of that.
Yes, exactly. This is like, hey, you know what? This road is closed today. Here's what we expected. It was unexpected. We wanted you to know.
Right.
And that's it.
Okay.
We were cautioned by the company to not do a whole bunch of farmers markets and all the community activity stuff. This is more of an emergent need type of notification.
When you're getting these notifications, it's something you should look at and not just instantly delete.
Yes.
We all have enough of kind of the spam type stuff. Yeah. And speaking of spam, I think it's really important to mention what we were talking about a little earlier, and that is, when you sign up for some of these programs or these text messages, a lot of companies keep your information and sell, right? This is not what's happening here. I want to make sure this is super, super duper clear.
Yep. Okay. That is one of the first things we did bring up. I think the first meeting I was in is like, what are we doing with this data? Is this leaving Quincy? Are you guys as a company, are you selling this? And we had legal look for loopholes. We had legal do the legwork. That's not what's happening.
Okay.
And we're very confident in that. And that was a priority for us to make sure that our data stays our data. We're not shipping it off to a different country so you can get text messages about buying pillows.
Right. Yeah. It is really important because I know that when you sign up for things, a lot of people are hesitant to do that. Also, there are no fees.
Yeah, no fees.
Okay.
So again, that's something that's very important. You guys asked for this. We want to provide that to you. You don't need to pay for that. That's part of our job, is to make sure that you know what's going on. And that was another thing that we wanted to make sure is there's no cost.
Right.
No cost for information regarding your city and your town.
Right. The pertinent information. And I know a lot of text that you get, it says to subscribe, you will be subject to normal text messaging rates. This does not apply here. This is a free service to keep you informed from the city of Quincy on issues that, we deserve to know.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so one more time, how can people subscribe or sign up?
Yep. So first, what we can do is you can text Quincy to the number 24639.
Okay.
Okay. And that, I think, is probably going to be the easiest one for people. We also have where you can go online to a web browser and you can sign up. And I have that link that I can put below in the comments here. Just it's a little lengthy, but we want to get that out for people.
Yeah.
But again, you just go in, you give your information, your name, your phone number, your address, and you say, I want to know about these kinds of notifications.
Yeah, and it does go for landlines or cell phones. I know I mentioned texting a lot, but you can receive actual phone calls if you don't have a text messaging
100%.
phone. Okay.
So again, even if you don't, you still have a landline that's important to you, that's wonderful.
Sure.
Or even if you have a cell phone, you don't want to get more texts, you can opt into voice notifications.
Okay.
Where they will call you, you will get an automated a message. But I think it's important that people understand that the numbers that you are going to receive these text messages from, save those numbers. They will always be the same.
Okay.
So if you get a number, I believe it's a Seattle number, save that, put it as Quincy notifications. Anything you want. So that way you recognize it each time you get something.
Sure.
Because I screen my calls.
I do too.
So I probably wouldn't answer a Seattle call because I'd be like, oh, who's this?
Yeah.
So I think it's very important to remind people, please save the number because it will be that number every single time.
Okay, there you go. Code RED for your information, right?
Yes,
I love
for
it.
your
Well,
information.
keeping us in the know is what it's all about, and I appreciate you doing that. And keeping you in the know is something that Steve Salrin, we talked about. Community Connect. Am I saying that right?
You are.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
We talked about that a few weeks ago, and I think it's a really cool service to sign up for, to keep you and your guys in the know when there's an emergency. And I also know that there may be some confusion between Code Red and Community Connect. So I'm glad you're here to kind of talk us through the weeds on that.
Right, because we're kind of throwing a lot at the public at this point.
Sure.
And we want to make sure there's a differentiation between Code Red and Community Connect, and know there's a difference. And Community Connect is, again, it's an opt-in, so it takes a person to actually click the link, log in, create an account, and then provide us responders, only the fire department, information that is relevant to their residents.
Sure. And this is, God forbid, something happens at your home. It gives you and your team the information that you need ahead of time, right? Before going to one of these calls to help maybe, I don't know, make the situation, make the outcome a little bit better, right?
Information for us is key. And
Yeah.
we can, if we have that en route, we're already anticipating, we know that there's an individual with mobility problems that we need to be concerned about if there's a fire. If it's an EMS call, well, we know this person's epileptic, and that can help prepare our personnel way more quicker than having to ask all those questions once we get on scene.
Sure. And this goes for how many people are in the house, pets?
Pets.
Cover pets? Certain entrances or maybe hidden entrances, is that
Yeah,
right?
basement access, locations of your utilities, your breaker panel, your water shut off, just all the stuff that it takes time to get with the homeowner, ask the question, relay all that information. So
Yeah.
we're hoping this takes off. We've got, I don't know, probably around 100.
Oh, wow, okay.
So
we need more, though.
We can do better.
We
We
can
can
do
do better.
better.
Because I think when you're in, a state of emergency, this information may seem like it's going to come to you, but when you're in that moment, it may be harder to think of these things when you're being asked. So if you
Absolutely.
proactively get this information to first responders, then it makes it, I think it would make it better for everyone to just be in the know.
And they also the community has the ability to request smoke detectors through this platform too.
Which
So-
I have done, and they called me within 30 minutes
Really?
to set up an appointment. When I signed up, and I used my maiden name, so it wasn't, like an inside deal where
Yeah, they weren't
we
like,
have
"Oh, we
to
gotta
do
get
it.
on it." Yeah.
Yeah, and I did, and I didn't do it as a test. I actually just really needed a smoke detector, and so they called me within 30 minutes, and I mean, they're outstanding. Our fire department, I don't think we understand how wonderful our
Yeah.
fire department is in Quincy. Like the extra mile that you guys go to, all the wonderful things you guys do besides your actual job.
Right, right.
I think we're just so fortunate, and to me, I see Community Connect as a way to make their jobs easier and to have them be more effective.
Right.
If you have information, like if I say you're not home and your house catches fire, you have pets at home. They don't know that. They don't know that you have 3 dogs and a snake that need to get out of the house.
Right.
And this helps them be better at their job, giving them the tools to do better.
And
Absolutely.
to that point, it allows us a communication avenue too. So your phone numbers, if you sign up through Community Connect, your phone number is established with that address. So we
Okay.
can call you and say, hey, we're at your residence, here's what's going on.
Yeah.
Again, saving time, fumbling through neighbors and trying to get information like that. So
Yeah, communication, even though it seems that you should be able to be reached wherever you are, it almost seems more difficult. So any steps you can take to make it a little easier.
Absolutely.
And yourself safer, right? I mean, this
Yeah.
is for our own good. God forbid something happens, but if it does, all the information is there, and you don't have to worry about it in the moment because you have enough stuff going on.
And you can put as much or as little as you want to in there.
Okay. And speaking of data, that's not being sold anywhere
Nope.
either. Okay.
No,
All
it's
right.
only our access only.
Yeah.
Okay. And where do people go to register for this?
Website is
Okay.
the best thing. A few weeks ago when we spoke, there was a Facebook post that had a link as well.
Okay.
It's probably buried by now, but
Yeah. And I'll-
the website's the best avenue.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'll get those back up on City of Quincy, Illinois Facebook, and I'll put that on our more of a forefront banner on our website.
Okay.
So if you go to quincyisle.gov, I'll have some, and I'll get that done today, where you could just go click a banner of, hey, sign up, Community Connect, and Code Red. Just in one place, easy links. But again, like we really need people to do this. We
Sure.
really want people to do this. They asked for this service. So like I want to encourage people to do this. Sign up your friends, your family, your parents. We need to get it done.
Yeah, and with the weather changing and as beautiful as it is outside, unfortunately, these disasters seem to happen more and more frequently. So if you take a moment today to get this done, it kind of takes care of it for at least a little peace of mind
Right.
for the future, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so there you go, keeping the community in the know, connected with information. I think it's so important. We have asked for this. Let's step up. Let's make it effective and efficient and give the city the opportunity to help us help ourselves. Thank you both so
Thank you so
much. I
much.
appreciate
Perfect. Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, thanks so much. And thank you, Mercantile Bank, for sponsoring Minutes with the Mayor. We appreciate you for all your banking needs. Hit up Mercantile, great people, and lots of locations throughout the community. Thank you so much.